Okay, kids, what we're looking at here today is the Atari Flashback X. Now, the only reason I'm doing this video is I did a Coleco one, my Coleco Flashback that I modded. Now, I put this up on the ColecoVision Lunatics thing on Facebook and said, here's my modded ColecoVision Flashback. And somehow people got ticked off that I used the word modded. Now, to me, modded means modified. Maybe I'm wrong. Once I had a girlfriend with fake boobs, and I thought that meant she was modified. She was modded. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just a big idiot. But um, I had a ColecoVision Flashback, and I put a pie in it. Sorry that somehow offended people. Um, I just wanted to share it with people, but some of them got ticked off, so I took it off the ColecoVision Flashback or the ColecoVision Lunatics page. But I decided to do a video of all of my other little flashbacks and things that I've modded. I have an Atari Flashback X, which is, to me, it's because it looks like an original Atari, and it's tiny. And working on a television. I have a Nintendo. I have a Super Nintendo. I have a Sega Genesis. I have a PlayStation that's been modded. Um, I'm just going to do a little video of each one. Basically, the whole thing is I want a little system, every one of my little systems from when I was young, which is a long time ago. I'm just going to put every game that they had available on each one. And the only reason I really started is because of this one. I saw somebody else did a video um, where they're able to take this. Like, I had other flashbacks, and they weren't very interesting. But this one, because it looks like a real Atari. Um, so why wouldn't I want to do it? So let's just take it out of the box. We'll get it set up. Here's the old power cord. Now, this is before we start even. Here's what we did. The video I saw was about, you get this, I believe it's called an OTG cable, because the power itself goes in this, and then you get this OTG cable, and it's more or less a splitter. So there's your power there, but now you have a USB cable into it, and you can put every game you want on this USB. So that's what I did. That's what the video is going to be about. Let's get that joystick out. And I even got a little cool little Atari cartridge that you can stick on the thing. Maybe I'll just do that. I'll get that all hooked up, and then we'll continue the video here, and I'll show you how it works. All right, now we got it open. Now, first thing, I just want to make sure I make it clear again. I'm not going to be able to explain, cooties, I'm not going to be able to explain how this is done. Okay, for me to explain how I've finished all of my little games is like Forrest Gump explaining how he met the president and John Lennon. You have no idea. It just happened just by sheer luck, sheer working for it, I guess. I don't know. But this is the first little project I had. I bought this. I got it at Bed Bath and Beyond for $40, and I bought it. And I saw a video. And I'll tell you what happened. A guy showed a video of what somebody else had done on Atariage, and I joined the little group, and I saw what they did, and I downloaded it, put it on my little OTG cable, and I'll show you the programming and everything. And then I bought this cool little Pitfall cartridge, and I also have a cool little ET cartridge that I also have there, and I can glue it in, but when it's sitting like that, you can't see it, but it's cool. So anyway, basically you get this OTG adapter, you get your USB, and I originally had done it myself. I put about, I don't know, a couple hundred games on. But when I saw what they had done with it, I had to do what they did. So let's just turn it on and see the beauty of Atari Flashback X from At Games with extra programming from somebody way smarter than I am. And if you're the guy who made all this programming, I don't know your name. But I appreciate what you did, and I'm sorry that you took it down because people were jerks. But here's what we got here. I'll show you what I originally did here. So if you go down here, external USB drive. These are the games that I put on originally. So there's no artwork or anything because I'm not that smart. But different kind of adventure, Asteroids 2, Atari Climber, Berserk. I put all these games on myself at one point, but what this guy did is so much better. So let's just go back over here. For some reason, it's pink Berserk. Anyways, this is how he had it set up. He has a folder for Legends Flashback, which was another smaller system that we bought. I might actually show a video of what he did with that. Then you have Atari 2600 games, hacked games, homebrew games, import games, I guess from Europe or whatever. If I do this, nope, go down this way. Oops, so dumb I am. The Supercharger, the Atari 400, 800, XL, XE home game, or home computer games, basic cartridges, Atari 5200. The beautiful thing about this, if you have a RetroPie and you put 5200 on it, the games are really difficult to get to work. But on here, they all work great. You got 7800. And again, I've done this wrong. There we go. Atari arcade games. Then you got Atari Flashback. If you bought it, it has 110 games. That just basically is the games that are set up. You got a jukebox. You got a karaoke machine, Jaguar, Atari Lynx, Sears. There's your favorites, of course. And then down here, reboot, shutdown. So I'll just show you what. I'll start up with this, and this is how it works. It's just like an old Atari joystick, but it's got start and fast forward and whatnot. So here we are. Clickety click. Go to the folder. And then it has a back button for this. But there's all the games that you would remember. 3D tic-tac-toe. These are your numbers. And then starting with A's, Adventure, Heresy, Battle, Alien, Amador, Atlantis 2. It's beautiful. The way he put music in here. Bloody Human Freeway. Look at all these games. There's so many games here. Like, just keep going and going and going and going. Right there. Where are we at? Halfway through. Get to the end here and see what we got. Tanks, but no tanks. Okay, right at here. This is 47 pages. So that's 470 games of just these. Now, if I go back, I'll just go to the first one here. And go back to the Nexus, which is what this actually was called, the Atari Flashback Nexus. Guy was a genius who put this together. There's actually several guys on Atariage that put this together. Just way smarter than me. Okay, so then you have 470 games already. And now we got hacked versions of games. So you got how many different adventures? Adventure Extreme, Adventure 3, a Centipede that looks more like the real one, a Berserk with voice, Donkey Kong Jr., Galaga. Again, here's, oh man, how many more pages is this? Basically 8 more pages of that, so it's another 80 games of that. So go back to the Flashback Nexus. Then you got your homebrew. So these are all games that other people, again, smarter than me, made over the last 40 years to play on Atari. So a lot of these I've never heard of. Oh, 1942. Alien Pinball. But again, look at how many of these there are. 13, 14, 15, 16. There's a Fix-It Felix for this thing. Now, I haven't played all the games. There probably are some that don't even work. I know a lot of them work. I've spent hours just screwing around with this thing. Like, the whole gist of it is I wanted to put all my Atari games in one system. And when I found out you could hack this thing and put them all on it, I just had to do it. Like, first I had there's a handheld Atari that's, it's like a little Sega Game Gear type thing. And I put 500-600 games on that. And I wanted to do the same thing with this. Look at this, another 45 pages of 10 games each, just of hacked games. Go back to the screen. And you got your imports. Hey, look at all these now. So these were not available in North America, I guess, unless you were able to get a guy. Or some of them could have been, just garbage you got for $5 at Zeller's, which is a Canadian chain that's no longer in existence, kind of like Target or Walmart was. So another 11 or 12 pages of just these. Go back up here. And then, if you remember the Starpath Supercharger, this was basically a cartridge you would plug in, and it had a little a line that went to a cassette, and you would plug in cassettes into this thing, and they had more memory than the Atari had. I don't know how many there actually were, but here we got, the Casey Munchkin. Another 20 pages or 2 pages of that, so there's like 20 of those. So, back to the old Flashback Nexus. And then you got Atari 400, 800 games. I had an 800 as a kid as well. Loved programming that thing, loved playing games on it. Look at how many games we got for these. All the old standbys. And again, like I said, I've tested a lot of them so far. It's going to take me, weeks, months to play everything that's on here. Look at all this. So again, whoever the people were that did this, geniuses compared to me being a bonehead. Another 35 pages of 10 of just computer games. Okay, back to the Nexus. Basic. This was your programming, I do believe. Oh, these are actual games too. Wow. Interesting. So, I had no idea there's even all this on here. Look at all this. Back to the Nexus. We're not even halfway through yet. It's going to kill some people with boredom. Look at the old 5200. Now, if I could have done a 5200, but nobody's making a 5200 flashback. Not a lot of games were made for the 5200 because it just was wonky. But it's really cool. Go back. And on to the 7800. Which was the last good system they made. So, how many of these you got? Another 12 pages of those. All right, what's next? So you have Atari Arcade. So in this one, it's only Atari arcade games. So anything that was in the arcade that was an Atari. So Arabian, I'm like changing the music. Dun, 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 dun. So another bunch of games there. Okay, go back. All right, what else we got? Go to the flashback. Well, I might as well just click on it and show you what it is. Got a picture of the old other flashback that had stupid buttons, didn't really work. So these are the games that came stock. Or maybe it's the gold. Oh, it's the gold version, so it's probably 110. But it's kind of cool. Like, I could just unplug the OTG cable and I get that, or I can just leave it on here and it works fine. Jukebox. Now, what this is people who have been programming just for fun, made 10 million songs. I'll just put it on something I care about. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. You know, I could play some of the games. I'm just going to show you what this does. Yeah. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Get out of here. Okay. And let's see here. How do I get back? I think I can do this. I think I would know what I was doing by now. There we go. Back to the Flashback X. So there's a karaoke thing. There's Jaguar games. There's Lynx games. There's, if you remember the, well, since I'm showing everything else, here's your Jaguar. Okay, so again, how many games we got here for that? 6 pages. Whoop-de-doo. But probably not going to find a Jaguar. Well, I don't know. They're making so many of these little things, like the tiny Commodore 64, of which I have a VIC-20. Maybe I'll do a video of the VIC-20 that I got. Okay, Atari Lynx, which was a handheld. That's the first thing I bought, was an Atari that looked like that, and I put a ton of games on it. Be cool to be able to do something on that, maybe. But here's all your Lynx games. Oops. There we go. Sorry, my videos take so long and I'm not even playing the games right. The media viewer, I believe he put some movies on here. There we go. Bunch of commercials. A couple of movies. XE video games. I don't even know what that one is. Oh, that was the later version. It's one where they stripped down the computer and then just sold it without the actual keyboard. And I don't know if people also remember, Sears sold a version of the Atari. They called it the Telegames, much like the Intellivision was sold by Radio Shack, and they called it the Tandyvision. So some of these are pretty much the same as they were, just a slightly different name. Favorites, shut down. Now, the bonus of this is they put another folder in here with the Legends Flashback, which is a different system they built. It was much like if you've ever seen the Legends Ultimate stand-up arcade. This is kind of a smaller one you hook into your TV, and they put a ColecoVision one in. They put some arcade games, Linux games, Odyssey 2. There's Intellivision in here, Nintendo. Sorry, put it down here. Turbo Graphics, Game Boy games, Pico, Neo Geo, Super Nintendo. Little things, they don't matter. I don't feel the need to go into all those, because the whole point of this was it's an Atari, and it has every Atari game I know of on it. You can put straight Atari games, you got your paddle games, you got your, I have some extra games here that were not part of the system, but it's pretty awesome, honestly. So that was the video of the Atari Flashback. So again, kids, if you're watching this video and you want to see my other ones, I'm going to do one about my Sega Genesis that's about that big. I have a Nintendo. I have a Super Nintendo. I'm kind of see this mess over here of pies and stuff. I'm going to make an Intellivision at some point. Maybe I'll do my Legends Ultimate. I got a PlayStation. Oh man, how many do we got? But if you want, like, subscribe. If you got nothing better to do, try watching one of my other videos. I like to go for walks in Vancouver, where I live, and you can see what a beautiful place it is, and watch me make stupid comments about things I see. So, once again, thanks. Thanks for watching. Maybe like, maybe subscribe. Maybe we'll see you again someday. All right. Laters.